Hello, everybody. It is that time again. Wednesday night. There was a delay there because I was considering doing a Western accent and I decided against it at the last second. So, can we appreciate while people are coming in? Can we just for 1 second appreciate how shiny my hair is? Oh my gosh, look at that. I just washed it today. A fresh wash. How is everybody today? Hello, hello. I'll keep an eye on the chat throughout this and just kind of let people come in. It's a cozy outfit today. I like this. It's a new outfit. I just threw this sweatshirt on top of it. I'm like, no, that's cute. So today we are talking about secret spirituality, closeted witch tips. So for those of you who don't know, the term closeted witch is somebody who has some type of spiritual practice that is non-Christian, more kind of traditional old world pagan-ish. Maybe it's Wiccan, maybe it is like more the ancient stuff. Wicca is a flavor of neo-paganism, sort of. It first came about in the 1980s, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Hello, I'm looking at the chat. Oh, so Wicca resonates with you? I'm looking at it. Someone in the chat said, yeah, so this is like for people who might identify as Wiccan, pagan, mystic, who I love Hecate too. Oh my gosh, very, very powerful goddess to work with. I'm looking at the chat here. These tips are for mega super secret. I know that I've seen some other people talk like, oh, have an altar in a box or in a drawer, or have, and I've said this too, have a deck of tarot cards in a black velvet bag at the bottom of like your sock drawer or something. These tips are like mega secret. Like that is not something that, like those two things I just mentioned, the altar in a drawer, tarot cards in a bag hidden away thing, that's not always the safest choice for every person depending on your situation. So with these tips I'm going to be sharing today, like ain't nobody gonna know nothing, okay? Like so, and I have quite a few for you today. So this is like the ultimate, very powerful practice that you can have. These are things that you can implement into how you show up in your life, how your practice looks in a way that is not going to bat an eye at all. Not at all. And so, okay, we have quite a few viewers, so let's get into it, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is utilizing Diosil and Windershins whenever possible. So for those of you who don't know, those are the traditional terms. Diosil means clockwise and Windershins means counterclockwise. And clockwise or Diosil attracts, whereas counterclockwise or Windershins banishes, it sends away. So something a lot of people talk about is if you drink tea or coffee in the morning and you're mixing sugar or honey or cream into it, whatever your ingredients are, right? You can put your intention into your drink, whatever you're like. What a beautiful way to start your day, right? Say you want to attract an increased sense of vitality. You can stir your honey into your tea or stir the sugar into the coffee and say, or picture in your mind what vitality looks like to you. What I do is like, whatever my intention is, vitality. Or you can be as basic or as thorough as you want with that. Visualization could be great. Maybe even thinking about the feelings that you would have in your body when you have that thing that you're trying to attract. Another thing would be to, I mean, like a beautiful energy clearing and alignment technique is to utilize a pendulum and or a necklace. You don't have to have a pendulum. It can be a necklace like this, anything with a weighted sort of pendant on it, spinning it counterclockwise to clear away energy that isn't yours, and spinning it clockwise to align to energies of love, to eternal living God source, to Jesus, to Buddha, whoever you believe in. Those are just a few ways you can use a pendulum for a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll make a whole separate video just about pendulums. Let me know, or a live about everything about pendulums. Let me know if you would be interested. So, okay. So anything that you stir, think about in the kitchen too, if you're making soup or pasta or, oh my gosh, literally anything. If you're stirring something, you can use this as well. You can put your intention into anything like that. So next I'm going to get into, you can light colored candles with intention. And especially if, I mean, candles are so normal, right? They're sold at like pretty much every store, especially if it's like a colored candle from Bath and Body Works. Like that's so normal. Like like so many people have those. And so, for example, you could get a green candle to attract or like amplify that energy of money in your life. If you want to light it with intention, like, hey, I'm about to interview for a job, or I'm about to go out and do deliveries, or I'm about to launch a new freelancing venture. I'm going to light this candle while I'm doing that thing, or right before I do that thing, so that it can kind of amplify that abundant energy. That's just one example. A white candle could be cleansing, could be purifying. You can also charge a white candle with any intention, with any color, because just like in science, the prism, the color prism, all of the rainbow into it. A white candle is kind of similar in the sense of, it's a blank slate. You can make it whatever you need it to be. So having a white candle or two on hand is great because they're so versatile. You can make it whatever you need it to be. But I do suggest that if you dedicate it as a specific color, make sure you remember that. You can maybe even like write it down, or maybe tie a colored ribbon to it to remember that, hey, this is empowered with red energy or yellow energy or whatever. Those can also align with the chakras as well. Whatever is associated with these colors, you can literally make it entirely your own. There's so much you can do with it. That's why it's so powerful and so versatile. And again, it won't bat an eye because it's just a Bath and Body Works apple candle, or like it's just a Bath and Body Works beach candle, guys. Like, no. So another thing I wanted to mention about the candle thing is that there are two ways that you can put the candle out. Some people really, really kind of feel strongly about snuffing it with I could show you actually. There's a thing that you can get at the store, and they're kind of everywhere. Well, sort of. This is a candle snuffer, okay? And this puts the candle out without you having to blow it out. But interestingly enough, I watched a documentary one time where a witch said that she blows out her candles because she imagines and has the intention behind that breath sending the energy out, like sending the magic to do its work. And I thought that was really cool. So whatever resonates with you, if you don't want to get this, or if this isn't accessible, or if you think that this will be, I don't know, a tip off to the people who can't know or won't accept, or you won't be safe if they know that you have different beliefs, right? You can utilize the blowing out of the candle, which is, again, very, very normal. And just imagine that the magic is being sent off to do work for you. So another thing is to pray in your head to pantheon deities. So instead of, a classic prayer that most people talk about, you can have it be kind of like a telepathic thing, something that you just say to yourself in your head to whoever you want as far as gods and goddesses go in pagan traditions. So if you want to have more self-love, maybe you want to call on Venus, who is the Roman goddess of love, or maybe you're having some conflict with your family in your household. So you want to call on Hestia, who is the Greek goddess of the hearth and home, and she helps with family dynamics. You can pray to any of these beings, just like you would pray to God, the Christian God. So that's something I wanted to mention. Your prayers don't have to look Christian or Catholic, even though that's what a lot of people tend to talk about. You can pray to anything you want, technically. So another thing is to empower wearable family heirlooms. This will facilitate an ancestral connection. Guys, it's so, so cool. I just I listened to a podcast just yesterday about a voodoo priestess, voodoo. She says that the more that you kind of interact and connect with your ancestors on the other side, the more that they can kind of do for you and help and kind of intervene in your life if you need assistance or guidance or some type of, like, in some cases they can save your life. So I thought that was really cool that she mentioned that. So I'm like, that is so powerful, being able to, have a necklace or to have a ring. Like I have a ring. I was gonna get it down for the video, but I forgot. I have it in a bag up there, but it's a red ring, gold. It's a gold ring with a red stone, and some of you may have seen it in some of my videos or my lives. Whenever I wear it, I have dedicated it as my bleed ring or my period ring, to remind me to be gentle with myself. And that was my grandma's ring. My grandma who passed away, her picture is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it if I hold it up because it's behind glass, so you might get a glare, but her picture's right there. You can facilitate a deeper connection with your ancestors and your loved ones who have passed away by hanging on to, wearing, keeping it in your pocket, even just empowering and bringing an awareness to these items that they've left behind. So another thing is houseplants. Houseplants are so normal. You can get them at so many different places. They absorb and filter life-diminishing energy. Just please take care of them and please say thank you. Make sure they get the proper care, water, sunlight, because they deserve it. They're doing a lot of work, even though we might not always be able to see it with our eyes. And so the next thing is that, so there's this post on Instagram that I have reposted on my page. If you're not following me on Instagram, I am at guidinglioness on there. No capitalizations or underscores or periods. Guidinglioness. And household objects, basic normal household objects, can be empowered with meaning. They have symbolic meaning in themselves. And so for you to carry these items in your pockets, it's so normal and it would not like raise any kind of eyebrows whatsoever. So the first thing, I'm going to read it, it's literally right here off to the side, is keys. You have a house key, you might have a car key. They guard thresholds, block intruders, and carry authority in both worlds. So both worlds refers to the physical and the afterlife, the spirit realm. So another thing here they mention is a pin, like a safety pin. A pin wards off what eyes can't see. Worn at the hip or collar, pins absorb malice, shield your energy, and redirect harm. Another thing is, this might not be so normal. It's a feather. Buttons though, buttons, I want to emphasize, these are all good things, but I want to emphasize like the super secret ones. So a button binds and closes, carried in your pocket or sewn with intention. Buttons seal what's yours and keep harm out. And then a mirror, like a pocket mirror. Literally, I have one in my purse. tucked in a purse or pocket, mirrors deflect envy and reverse harmful intent. What else? A thread. So like literally a piece of string. um, ties off harm before it reaches you. Wrapped on the wrist or carried in a pocket, red thread binds envy and seals protection. The color red shows up in a lot of different cultures. A protective symbol, or I guess wearable item you can have in the Italian culture, I'm Italian, is a gold or a gold colored safety pin with a red bead on it, and you wear it like right on the inside of your collar. That's a symbol of protection. That is a protection mechanism. So yeah, I think that's everything in this little list. Yeah, these are things that you already have probably. You can totally carry them around and empower them. And nobody's going to say anything to you. So next we have essential oil room sprays to cleanse spaces, bought or homemade. So I have one. There's this, there's a lot of brands that are sold. Not sponsored, so I won't name them exactly, but at Walmart, at health food stores, like Fresh Thyme or Sprouts or something like that, they have lavender room sprays, myrrh and frankincense room sprays, eucalyptus. Those are all herbs that have clearing and protection properties. And lavender is for mostly calming and inner peace and stuff. So whatever you need, whatever resonates with you, these are at the store. They're just room sprays. They're essential oil room sprays, or you can even make your own at home if you want to buy some bottles of essential oil. Literally nobody's, it's like, ooh, this is an air freshener. It's so easy to have that. So the next thing is, okay, these two types of magic I'm about to get into right now are so underrated. I feel like people don't talk about them enough, and that is paper magic and knot magic. Not as in KNOT. So we're going to get into paper magic first. So paper magic is literally so simple to the point where you can take any scrap of paper, whether it's notebook paper, like a index card like this, whatever you have, and similar to the clockwise and Windershins, depending on how you fold it, can like alter the energy and empower your intention. So for example, if you write the words, self-love, health, and peace on it, you take that piece of paper, you fold it towards you. Anything you want to come to you, you fold it towards you. And then you want to fold it again, you turn the paper, the folded paper, clockwise, 90 degrees. And then you fold it towards you again. And then you keep doing that until you get a teeny tiny little package. And you can either, safely burn it, just throw it in your next summer bonfire or like the barbecue and just like, if you can, or you can just keep it in a bag somewhere, or, for safekeeping, keep it. And contrastingly, if there's something you want to banish, release, you can write on the paper fear, doubt, anger, or something, or you can be, I'm being very, very basic. You can get really, really detailed. If there's a vision that you have, if there's a goal, if there is maybe even reconciliation with somebody in your life, you want to maybe try to facilitate a sense of understanding or a conversation to be had that will help kind of smooth over some tension. You can also do that. Of course, in alignment with the absolute highest and best for all involved, right? Anyway, when it comes to stuff you want to banish, you write it on the paper, you fold it away from you because you don't want it. You're trying to send it away. And then you turn it counterclockwise 90 degrees. You fold it away again and then turn it counterclockwise again until it's the same process, until it's a tiny little package. And like I said, you can either burn it or keep it. I actually did a cool thing one time where I buried a paper magic thing in the snow. If you're in a place where it snows, you bury it in the snow. It's kind of like a freeze spell in a way, or like a binding spell, to put that energy to rest, basically, if it's like a thing that you're trying to banish or send away. I did this as like a cord cutting with exes, like ex-lovers, kind of like putting to rest any residual yucky energies. I did the paper magic and I put it in the snow. I buried it in the snow. So it is so cool. And actually, I'm glad I looked at this because I wrote it down. If you don't want to keep it, you can also rip it. You can rip the paper, rip it away from you, turn the pieces, rip it away from you counterclockwise. Or if you want to attract it, fold it towards you, or sorry, rip it towards you and then turn it clockwise, rip it towards you until it's a bunch of tiny pieces, and then just throw it away. Nobody's gonna know. So that's really cool. That's a good option if you don't want to just have like these tiny little like pieces of paper that looked like rolled up straw paper. When you have a drink and you take the straw out of the paper and you like roll it up. So that is really powerful and so easy and so accessible. I love that so much. And so now we're going to get into knot magic. Any piece of string, friendship bracelet string or embroidery string, thread, a leather corded necklace, or like the cord that you would use for that, like literally any kind of string at all, you can use this for. And you can apply it to taking it a step further. Even if you do have friendship bracelets, like I literally have some right here, like this embroidery thread, you can get it at the store, at the craft store, thread like this. You can have a whole manifestation thing that you do. Weaving is so powerful and shows up in a lot of different ancient cultures. You can weave it and knot it, making the bracelet while thinking of your intention or your manifestation, your goal, your vision, whatever it is. And you can wear it. And nobody's going to say anything. It's a friendship bracelet. So that is so cool. And so yes, basically the knots, some people have slight variations of how they do it, similar to the paper magic and similar to the way that you can put out a candle, like I mentioned earlier. With these, it's like the way that I kind of align to and know the most about is you tie a knot thinking of your intention. And then once it has been fulfilled, you can untie it. Or some people see the untying as the release of the energy. So like you tie it and then you or if you want to banish something or send something away, you have this knot that maybe you charge with all of the heartache from your previous relationship or a friendship, whatever. It doesn't have to be romantic. And as you're untying the knot, you imagine that all of that tension, all of that coiled yuckiness is just withering away. So it's all about your intention. It's all about what makes the most sense to you. I used to do this where I would tie the knots, and there's different ways you can tie it. You can look it up online. There's one pattern called the witch's ladder, where you kind of tie knots in succession in between each one, type of thing. And so I used to have a string be a theme, and then what pieces of that vision were. So like, I'm trying to explain this. So say that the cord is about, life success. What about, like, what is your idea of success? Well, I have a livable wage job. Okay, that's a not. And I have a beautiful community of people that really get me. That's another not. And then I have, the love of my life who really cherishes me. That's another not. So you can have these chords with a theme, and then each element of that theme, all the ingredients to what that would look like and feel like for you is a different knot on this chord. And you can keep it, you can hold it, you can carry it, or you can put on, if you do have an altar, put on your altar, or just leave it in a drawer somewhere. Again, this is a super secret tip. So you can keep it in your pocket, just keep it in a drawer somewhere, whatever. And it's just going to look like if you want to be super, super sneaky, if you have like a bag or a box of craft supplies, you can just put it in there. And if anybody were to see it, they would just think it's like a piece of scrap or something. You know what I mean? So I would do that. And then once I felt like that energy was complete, I actually wouldn't untie the knots. I actually burned the cord. So as you can see, there are so many different ways that you can do this, whatever resonates with you the most. And so getting into the next section here, we have sound healing and space clearing with musical instruments. So if you have a drum, if you're a band kid and you have an instrument of any kind, maybe you have some maracas or like those egg shaker thingies, or literally anything. Like my moderator, my friend, got me this finger piano, or a kalimba. I think it's called a kalimba. Yeah. If you have one of these, anything that makes sound, anything that is like a musical instrument of some kind, you can use that to achieve healing and clearing and just whatever your specific intention with that is. And it is an instrument that is meant to play music. Nobody can see inside your head. Nobody can be like, oh, she's playing that instrument so that she can increase her happiness in daily life. Oh, no, they're just going to hear the music and be like, oh, that's music. So you can make it your own thing. And so another super normal secret thing is nature walks. So these can be for connection, but also to leave offerings. If you want to leave offerings to your deities or to ancestors or to the fairies or whatever kind of entity, being, energy resonates with you, if you don't want to risk having it be in your room or in your backyard, you can bring your offerings to the woods or to some nature trails that are near you and leave it there instead. And be sure to announce, of course, if you're alone, you can say it out loud, or you can just say it in your head too, like, this is an offering for so-and-so. This ingredient symbolizes this and this ingredient symbolizes that, or I made you this necklace, or I made you this chain of flowers and I just want to show my appreciation for a blah 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 blah. Like, you can leave it there instead if it's biodegradable. Okay, so if it's food, or if it's like a flower chain, or some type of biodegradable thing, okay? Please don't litter. Yes, so a lot of deities like food offerings. Like every deity, I could argue, has at least one food that they love. And it could be a drink too. You could pour, a little bit of like water or juice or a smoothie or something like into the grass. Be sure to tell the fairies first. Be like, I'm pouring this here. Announce it, because there are fairies everywhere. But yes, that is something that you can do. And then dancing for somatic release and healing. You can put intention into whatever style you like. So maybe you did hip hop as a kid, or maybe you're a professional ballet dancer. When you are dancing, no matter what style it is, moving your body has healing properties. It literally removes trapped densities out of your muscles and out of your tissues. Your body holds on to stuff. This is a scientific fact that so many people talk about. Professional, like actual PhD holding people. Okay, so many articles about it in books and everything. So whenever you're dancing, you can make or set the intention to release grief around a particular thing you might be struggling with, or to like attract maybe a new opportunity in love, or release the tension that came from a stressful job interview, or literally across all categories, whatever resonates with you, whatever you're kind of thinking about, whatever might be in your mind or in your heart strongly at the time. You can apply this to anything. And so the next thing is very, very normal, a shower cleanse. We all bathe all the time. So you can put intention into that before stepping in your shower, being like, I'm gonna rinse off the energy of this bully at school. Like, she said that my skirt was ugly and that's negative vibes. Like whatever you want. That's just one example. Whatever kind of energy you want to get off of you, release, cleanse, like washing your body can also wash your energy if you set that intention. Very, very normal, very easy to do. And so then, and even, before I move on here, you can even do it with washing your hands. It doesn't have to be a whole shower, even. Maybe you shook hands with somebody who gave you a very bad feeling. Maybe it was some person at a bar who was flirting with you and you didn't want them to, or maybe it's, a family member that you haven't always seen eye to eye with, or whatever the case may be. Go to the bathroom. You can wash your hands and set that intention that you are releasing and washing away that energy. Okay? Very powerful stuff, very easy. And so another thing is to buy tea from the store with certain ingredients. You don't have to get, a loose leaf, fancy looking woo-woo tea from a little shop or whatever, even though those are amazing. You can literally get a box of tea from the regular grocery store. Look at the ingredients. It'll say like mint tea or lemon honey or mixed berry or hibiscus or whatever ingredient. Like literally these are just lol, hang on. Okay, I thought I missed something, I'm sorry. The ingredients in these teas are powerful herbs that have healing properties and can help you with different things, like rose for all things having to do with love, and lemon and ginger to release sickness and illness. Those are just a few examples. You can find this at the store. It can be in your pantry, and it's just regular tea. Like it's in a box that you bought at the store. Like it's not anything, but to you it is, because you know the healing properties of those specific herbs. So that's like really, really cool too. Another thing is to get into gratitude journaling or having a journal solely dedicated to your goals. Again, a very normal thing. Very normal thing to have a gratitude journal or a journal where you plan, you write down business stuff or ideas, or you write down your goals in different life categories, right? To me, this is a very super secret loophole version of a book of shadows, okay? Or a book of light. I like to call it a book of light. And this being solely dedicated to that one purpose, that's literally what a book of shadows is. A book of shadows or a book of light is your notebook or journal for spiritual stuff. You put your tarot readings in there, you put your dream interpretations, you put your channeled messages with spirits if you do that, if you're a medium. Everything spiritual witchy goes into that. So you can have a version of that that looks very normal to, regular schmegular unsuspecting eyes. Well, even if they are suspecting, it's just a gratitude journal. It's just a place for you to write your goals down. But you in your heart, you know that it is dedicated to your growth. So the next thing here is biocomputer commands before bed. So I'll explain what that is really quick. Biocomputer. This exists more kind of in the quantum physics, quantum mechanics kind of realm. And it's still being explored as far as science goes, okay? But we can be like, our brains are are very, very intelligent, and we can, through modalities like talk therapy and different healing techniques, right, in modern medicine, we can heal, we can change ourselves from the inside out for the better. And it all has to do with our intention, our words, what we say to ourselves, our inner dialogue makes all the difference. We are mostly water on the inside, and water, this is something that is very, very solidly in science. Water has memory. The frozen crystal experiment, where they played pleasant music and said pleasant words to one set of water and froze it, and then the other one they played like really kind of harsh music to and said negative and hurtful words to. You can't make this up. The first set of water, you put it under a microscope, the crystals were beautiful and symmetrical, and the other one was all jagged and dark and lopsided and weird. That's proof. That's very, very real. And so all this to say, your biocomputer, you can tell yourself goals and intentions and visions for your well-being in every category, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, and your body will adjust, especially right before bed. I started doing this 4 days ago consistently, and it's a night and day difference. I can't make it up. And so the power of doing it right before bed is that your brain can kind of get into those alternative states of consciousness, the different brain waves that empower that not only spiritual, energetic side, but actually genuinely the neuro, like the oh my gosh, what's it called? I think it's called the plasticity, the neuroplasticity of your brain in those different states is heightened a lot. That's why hypnosis is a very powerful method of rewiring and reprogramming yourself, because they lull you into that state so that your brainwaves are in that different place, that different state of consciousness, and it makes the reprogramming all the more deep and instant and powerful. And so a way that I do this is, and sometimes last night I did fall asleep a little bit before I got to finish completely, but the other days I finished it completely and just like went to sleep. But I lay in bed in the dark, and I'm going to have to put my microphone over here. When you do this, you are synchronizing both hemispheres of your brain. So I literally do this. I sit and I close my eyes in bed, and I say, biocomputer, turn on and run. And I hold that position. And once I say biocomputer, turn on and run, I say, just for an example, dissolve all energies and patterns that do not belong to me. Dissolve all of the frequencies that contribute to inflammation in my upper body, because I struggle with that. I live with that. I experience that, I should say. Or infuse peace and love into my heart space. Banish all deep-rooted fear from XYZ event in life, or whatever interaction you had that day that stressed you out. It can be as broad or as specific as you want it to be. And it works. Like, whatever resonates with you, whatever's going on with you, you can make these commands. It's literally like you're putting a code into a computer, or you're building a website. You're doing the HTML or whatever. If you're a Tumblr OG from 2013, you could customize your blog and copy and paste a code into it that you found online that had the look you wanted. Like, it's literally the same thing. And it's powerful. I've noticed a genuine, significant difference. I was kind of in a place with some stuff that had come up recently of like feeling a lot of dread and feeling a lot of hopelessness. And now waking up in my day, I feel light. I feel happy. And I feel like I can actually, like, there's just a undeniable increase in resiliency and peace. And it came from this technique. So this is very, very powerful. This is something you can do. Again, nobody's going to hear you. Nobody's going to, be with you in your bed, or even if you have a partner, just as you're falling asleep in your head, just say it. Say those things to yourself. And so another thing is homemade cleaning solutions with essential oils. They're magical herbs and resins in liquid form. You can also add sea salt to that solution when cleaning door and window frames. So thresholds where energy comes and goes, where energy passes through. Those tend to be portals, sort of. And so for you to put salt around your windows and around your door frames, that is like a boundary that you are putting up, that only certain energies are allowed to pass through and be sustained in this room. The energies that don't align to love, light, whatever, life-affirming organic energies, that'll be left outside, because it's like this salt solution around the frame is a filter of sorts. It's a boundary. It's a protective boundary. And so, yeah, there's a ton of tutorials online about, you can mix, I don't know if it's with water. It might be different like solutions. You can make your own homemade cleaning solution. Mop water is great. Also like your countertops and whatever's safe for your countertops, like that. Literally adding the essential oils and the salt into it. And it's clearing. It's cleansing energetically. And it's so secret, because it's like, oh, this is just a regular antibacterial spray. No, it's an herb wash that you are empowering your entire house with. So another thing is, this might be really, really simple, but it's true. Keeping your space tidy. Yes, really. Because especially, I'm looking at my book over there, Italian Folk Magic by Faye Run. Literally, when you have, according to Italians specifically, but also just in general, when you have clutter, sometimes energies can get stuck. It's like a net in the ocean. Debris and fish get caught in the net. They're not able to pass through and clear away because this net is there. Very similar thing with energy. When you have clutter and mess and garbage and dirty clothes and sheets or wherever, whatever is in your space, just like skewn, like thrown about. And so by keeping your space tidy and everything organized, you are not allowing those pockets of like density to be created by whatever energies, residual energies. It doesn't have to be ghosts or entities. It could just be, the yucky energy that one very intense negative coworker comes in with every single day. And maybe it's kind of on you, and it can deposit into these cluttered spaces and kind of stay there because that's stagnant energy. So keeping that all clear and tidy is going to keep everything flowing. And when everything's flowing, that means that nothing's sticking or being stuck. It's very important. So thank you for sticking with me. We're on the final note card here of the final set of tips, okay? So opening the windows with intention to clear out stagnant energy. That's something everybody does. Open the window. I do this when I do sound cleansing, or I have my essential oil diffuser going and I'm clearing out the space. For me, because I'm not closeted, it's with a broom or a feather. and I direct all the energy out the window so it can totally clear out. This is something that's mentioned in my Italian folk magic book too. Opening the windows, and especially even when I do actual cleansings and banishments of properties, if there's some type of spirit or entity or disturbance in a household, if I'm not there in person, I do instruct the homeowners to open up all of the windows in the house. If they have a sliding glass door with a screen, open that too. Get the air in, get everything flowing so that when I cleanse and I say the commands of banishment, those energies have somewhere to go and somewhere to leave through. So even at the basic, most bare minimum level, opening the windows and kind of thinking or feeling to yourself, may all stagnant energy leave this place. It will go. It'll literally flow out those windows. And everybody opens windows. There's nothing weird about that. So the next thing is shopping local, in season, organically, or all of the above. It's your way of aligning to, the natural cycles of nature, and also supporting your community too in that way that we used to, in a much easier and kind of like, it was just the ways that communities were so small, hunter-gatherer societies, and the early stages of trade and establishment in the world, how we all used to support and rely on each other and trade and like foster this rolling abundance that was just going on and on and on and kept in this space. Well, now everything's kind of bigger, a lot bigger with globalization and expansion and industrialization and everything like that. So for you to be in tune with nature's calendar, shopping in season, shopping organically, so you're fueling your body with foods that are very beautiful and supportive and without, pesticides and all that. Especially if it's local, going to a local farmer's market, you are supporting people, humans in your community. You are giving directly back to your community that way. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to do as part of your practice that will not bat an eye at all. And then having fresh flowers in your bedroom or kitchen regularly, again, very normal thing. Just get some from the grocery store, or even better, I see beautiful flower bundles at the farmer's market sometimes. And again, that kind of goes into my previous point of directly supporting your community and giving back and contributing to the sense of thriving energy in your community. And so flowers, just the beautiful colors and the essence and what they represent symbolically even, it lifts up the energy of the space. It instantly brightens it up, and they're pretty too. It's not gonna be raising any eyebrows at all to do that, and it's really, really significant and powerful and rejuvenating. It's really, really good to do that. Just make sure that if you do that, be sure to dispose of the withering flowers relatively quickly. Don't let the withering flowers kind of stay there, because then that can kind of maybe create an opportunity for stagnant energy. And they don't look nice, and sometimes they smell, and sometimes there's mold. So there are very 3D, practical, mundane reasons to make sure that you're staying on top of your flowers, right? Replenishing them and throwing them away. Or if you're able to, lay them in the backyard, give them back to the earth when they are finished. So last 2 points here. Do a little and mundane things with more love and intention. This is like so super secret. So just, there's absolutely no way that people will be able to tell that maybe you're brushing your hair with more softness, or you're brushing your teeth with intention. Just being there, being in the moment, being present for even the mundane little things, not rushing those things, because it's what makes us human. In the source collective space, everything's already done. We are God consciousness itself. So being able to do those very human things with a sense of grounding and appreciation and just presence, just awareness, allows our nervous system to be calm and allows us to just really be in this experience, because that's what we came here to be. We came here to be human. So to feel that humanness, as mundane or as, annoying or routine as it might seem, that can be a part of your practice, to be in those moments fully with awareness and presence. And so last but certainly not least, this comes directly from the Italian folk magic book: wear gold jewelry to attract, and wear silver jewelry to reflect or deflect, depending on the situation. Jewelry, a lot of people wear it. It's normal. It's decorative. It's fashion, right? Like, you can do this and wear these different metals with intention. And it'll just look like a regular outfit to everybody else. Those are the specific correspondences, okay? So for gold, it is attraction. For silver, it is deflection. And actually, in the Italian folk magic book, they mentioned that gold can be protective as well. It's a very high frequency, very highly valuable and pure metal, right? So in that book, they do say that, you can even, I'll break it down just because, it's my life and I want to. Gold is associated with the sun. The sun it tends to be divine masculine energy, guardian father, holy father, eternal source essence. The sun burns. The sun always rises. The sun is there, is our life force. Without the sun, the world would turn cold and be uninhabitable. So with that in mind, gold can also be protection. So if anything, I think that's great to have kind of the best of both worlds. In a lot of ways, I think sometimes with the craft and with correspondences, it's either this or that. It's this or the other. But with gold, in the Italian perspective, it is protection and attraction. So protection against what is not going to be loving and supportive towards you, and then attraction of what is. So I think that's really, really cool to have both in the same metal, the same object, right? I think that's cool. So, oh my goodness, I've already been talking for 52 minutes. Those are all my tips. I am going to scroll in the chat here really quick and see if there were any questions or things. Thank you guys so much for your attention and for looking. If there are any questions or anything that you heard that made your ears perk up that you want me to talk about further, let me know. People from different countries, thank you. Hello. Blessings to you. Okay. I might just wait a couple minutes here before I end the stream, okay? Because I just said a lot of stuff. So if anybody has any questions, anything I mentioned that was interesting to you, that you want me to dive into deeper, those tips and things I talked about, let me know. I will watch the chat here for just a couple more minutes here before I sign off. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you go to my bio on my channel, you will find my other platforms. I have a podcast on Spotify, which I also post episodes to here. And I have a Substack, which I pour my heart and soul into. I've always been a writer. I love writing. And I upload to all of my platforms when I'm inspired. A big value I have as not only like a brand, not to use that language, but like as a person, as a priestess, as a presence, I'm not going to show up unless it's absolute authenticity and I stand behind everything that I say. So I'm not just going to post to post. I'm not just going to post to, feed the algorithm. I have a whole YouTube short of me ranting about that and how the algorithm is very masculine, like hyper masculine, I would say. And it doesn't really facilitate that natural flow of feminine energy and feminine creation, like at all. It's very rigid. So stay tuned. What I provide to you is what comes from my heart and what I have to say and what I think is of value to you. I'm never just going to post just to post. I'm never just going to, oh, I got to do this, so I'm just going to do this. Not saying that everybody who posts consistently is that or does that. I'm just saying for me personally, what resonates with me most and what feels most in integrity and authenticity is to post when I'm inspired. And I feel like I have something to say and something to offer to you. Your valuable time that you take watching me and engaging with me, I so appreciate it so much. And so I want to make it worth it for you. That is a big value that I have. So keep an eye on those platforms for when I post. It is Spotify, Substack, here on YouTube, and I do post on Instagram sometimes too. So all of those links are in my bio. If you go to my channel, it's in my bio. And so, thank you for your encouragement, guys. All I got to say is keep going. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. So I don't see any questions though, and I have been talking for a long time, so I think I am going to go ahead and sign off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am here every single week at night. I am going on a vacation soon, but I will be posting. There will be a few more lives, and I'll be sure to share more details about that and maybe some change in that schedule for while I'm away. A different time I'll be streaming just for that to kind of make up for me being gone. But I am here every Wednesday night. You can find your time zone in the banner on my channel and in the post in my community tab, 7 p.m. CDT. I think if I'm remembering correctly, 5 p.m. PDT, 6 p.m. MDT, 7 p.m. CDT, and then 8 p.m. EDT. Yes, I think I finally got it. So thank you so much for watching. I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your day, week, wherever you're at, and I will see you in the next one.